We the Flashcast now.
I am a little tired. And
Yes, we would have an hour of videos. Countdown, and then we would restart the countdown 10 times just to troll the piss out of everyone waiting.
I'm not that mean, but reminder that our debt is incredible and the economy's gone to shit. And if you've been paying attention to the news, it's because Ukraine apparently, as of today, what's happening in Ukraine now has gone back into the past, like in a 1985 DeLorean.
Speaking of DeLoreans, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that later today. Hi everyone, my name is Darren Silvers, owner operator of HentaiCake.com, your place for cosplay, lewds, and entertainment news. And we are here with a lovely weekend after post Katsucon. Sorry we missed you guys last week. It was a bunch of stuff going on. Personal things had to happen, and
it's my fault. I'm sorry.
C'est la vie. C'est la vie. And I'm not going to find a replacement host in like 2 hours. So,
I can be replaced.
Everyone can be replaced. I can be replaced.
Point.
I'm just like,
point. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, look at even Hugh Hefner was eventually replaced on his own show, the Playboy Variety Hour.
Yeah, but Hugh Hefner being replaced from Playboy wasn't a good move for Playboy.
I never said it was a smart move. I'm saying it can be done.
Even though he kinda he did die, so the replacement was necessary. Wait, did he die? Did he die?
He's dead now, but that happened that didn't happen in the 70s.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm talking in general from Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
Not just variety shows.
We have, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming that's Russian. Hi, Russians. Whatever. So how was your Katsucon before we begin anything?
The 7 hours I was there was great, but I wasn't there that long because I had other stuff to do.
Yep,
it was my excuse to go home, and I spent time with the family and stuff.
I had a good overall Katsucon. My Friday was super busy because I was trying to fix something that never got fixed prior.
Yeah, we had dinner, and then I sat in your hotel room while you fixed that panel for an hour,
and that was it.
And then I effed off to my own panel, and that was it.
Yeah, and then I walked into your panel for about 15 minutes, and then walked away with a joke and called it a day.
Yeah,
because
you had your own panel to do.
Literally right next door.
Yeah,
so I walked in and I'm like, I can't sit in the seat, and Mike's like, why? Because I can see James right there,
and we would piss off our audience because we'd be just trolling the shit out of each other.
I'm like, I do have all of these stupid little things I can throw at him. Just Jolly Ranchers will come flying across the room.
Yeah, so they did do a good job of putting the separators up.
They did not. So I was just like, I'm gonna sit in front of the table and just stand and talk. My first room was so packed, too packed, very packed. It was literally a fire hazard, and I'm like, well,
yeah. I walked in after a couple people had left, and people were still on the ground. It was so packed.
Yeah, and I don't blame them for leaving because I was zooming through that panel because there was too many people, and unfortunately, my con support did not slow me down. He was too busy playing Pokemon Go. I turn around and go. So it was not my best showing of this panel. Definitely not.
Probably I had a good showing of my panels, but also not a great showing because I opened up my Nautical Nonsense panel by insulting everyone for what tanks they liked.
That's ridiculous. It should be insulting everyone based on their choice of submarine.
I know more about tanks than submarines.
There you go. And then my second panel was my Henshin Hentai panel, which was the one I was fixing the entire time you were there.
Yeah.
I did manage to fix it so that there was enough content to last us at least 40 minutes. Not quite what I needed,
but
enough. Almost. So again, this is a panel I don't have a lot of information on, and I'm just like, if the guy who was here made it and he did what I asked, which was get me a bunch of clips for each show, and I would have been fine, because I did find like pornography clips of a few of the models. It was difficult, but not too hard. But everything else was just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
So we did that one, and we were not the hentai panel where someone was apparently pleasuring themselves in. Apparently the staff had to stop the panel, turn on all the lights, and went hands up, and I'm like, hands up, don't shoot.
God. Oh God.
Yeah, no.
That's probably what someone was saying.
But that was also funny. But my panel did.
I have a Bandcamp story.
No. No. Absolutely not. Anyway, let me continue. So my hentai panel was another panel, very big, long room, which great, awesome. But I'm showing a lot of clips and things, so like people in the back row can't quite see everything. So the room was full, and then people in the back row started wandering around when they couldn't really
because
see
they can't see the titties.
Yes, and I understand. But big turnout for that panel too. Both my panels, huge turnouts for both. Huge, ridiculous number of people on both.
That's good.
My third panel, Bots and Babes, happened at the same time as the ball. So very few people were there, but people who were there loved the content.
I should have gone to that panel, unfortunately.
You ran off. You had things to do.
I had things to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
I had stuff with family, and then I had stuff with friends who weren't at the con.
You didn't get to hear about the socio-political nature that is Idol's rapping during the mid 90s. There might be another chance later in the year. We'll see. So that's an ongoing thing. I still cannot believe just all the things going on right now. Katsucon itself, though, lots of parties in the atrium area near the gazebo.
I heard about that.
And then at 2 a.m., everyone was told to either go to your room or get out. Like you don't have to stay. You don't have to leave. Yes, you do.
But you can't stay here.
Yeah, like we're like, get out. And I'm like, all right, okay. Well, the only thing left to do that late is the rave, and the rave's full up. So everyone meandered away.
They didn't do 24 hours of content this year, other than the rave.
Rave stopped at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
So I don't think Katsucon's ever done 24 hours of content.
They've done 24 hours. I've done 4 a.m. panels at Katsucon. I've done 3 a.m. panels at Katsucon.
You, sir, have no life.
I didn't back then. I do now.
Yeah, no. So that was good.
That's the reason why I don't do 18 plus content a whole lot anymore. Is I got tired of getting those death slots.
I can do the death slot. The problem is we don't have that much 18 plus content. And when we do, it's highly educational stuff. So like I can't
you can't do at 18. Stuff you can't do at 3 a.m.
I probably could, but I can't do it buzzed or like drunk. Which is an issue.
I could do my shit drunk, but I'm not much of a nerd.
So beyond that one controversy with someone pleasuring themselves, supposedly, the other controversy was apparently some cosplayer was using a steak knife as a costume prop.
No, don't do this, you idiot.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
I'm reading cases in my criminal law class of people who got murked with steak knives. Don't do this, you dipshit. A steak knife is a weapon.
Now, the usual suspects at Katsucon were not here this year. Katsucon's numbers were 17,000 badges picked up. I know 20K plus were ordered pre-order wise, but only 17K were picked up, and I believe that includes at the door sales.
That's about where they've been for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Doing a quick dive. Although they were growing, I think they were up to like above 20K in 2020.
Yeah, we
But
were super packed.
But so I wouldn't say Katsucon shrunk, but it did. How do we put it? Its growth was stunted.
Yeah, it had a stumbling block. It's gonna happen. Now, my favorite part of all of this is that a lot of like panels and things that I wanted to go see did not happen. Masha Cosplay, remember her from Anime Matsuri? She was supposed to do her lewd boudoir posing thing.
Yeah.
On Saturday night. Never happened. Like, I don't know if she never got here to the con or if she canceled or what happened there, but she never happened. And I'm like, okay, cool.
That's interesting.
Like, it was like I looked Saturday night, like I'm gonna go see what if when she's free and see and hit her up, and I went, her panel's not even on the schedule anymore. That's weird.
That's interesting. I did hear people saying, "Oh, my favorite panel has been canceled."
I heard a few panels just did not even happen. Like, no one showed up for it. A AAA game versus indie game production thing never happened because the guy who was supposed to do it never showed up. Guy, girl, whoever, I don't know. But
I don't know.
So, Katsucon, again, the usual suspects were not there. Lots of newbies, though. Tons of newbies.
I mean, that's good. I mean, bring on the newbies, but that's good. But
great news, and because there were so few people, they had a great time. They weren't struggling to find a spot to take shots or do anything along those lines.
Yeah,
because the usual suspects weren't there hogging all the great places.
Yeah.
So it was great news overall. It was a good time to go if you were a first-time photographer, first-time cosplayer, first-time whatever. It was a great time to go to Katsucon for your first time. Next year, I expect it'll be complete and total clusterfuck.
Probably.
Yes. With that being said, those of you who managed to have some of my moonshine, congratulations. Apparently, that was the cure to the capsaicin spicy vodka Jello shots.
What? Who? Never mind.
The point is this: someone's like, "Yeah, this will get you fucked up." I'm like, "No, this is just terrible. It'll just fuck you up. It won't get you fucked up. It'll just fuck you up.
It'll fuck you up. It won't get you fucked up."
Yeah, it's entirely different. But yeah, apparently the moonshine was the cure to the burning and everything else. So there you are. All right, let's
I get when I got that moonshine for you, it's like, no, I'm not dicking around this 50 proof shit. It's the real 70 proof shit.
If you can get me that shit in Pennsylvania, that'd be great. Do they make that, the Virginia Lightning?
I don't know. They export it out of state. But I'll be coming to Zenkai Con from Virginia.
So if you want to grab me another one, let me know. Let me know how much I owe you, because that was good stuff.
I'll get you some.
If they have a different flavor, let's grab a second flavor too. We'll grab 2 bottles.
I don't know if they have a second flavor.
Yeah,
because that one's made with real apple juice from a real apple farm.
There's no cherry farms in Virginia.
I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the news. Because we missed a week of stuff.
We missed some time, and this is an older article, but I included it last week because this is just too fantastic.
Man attempts to rob bank wearing Sonic the Hedgehog mask. I'm mostly
it's Florida, because of course it is. Gotta go fast to get away from the cops.
Oh Lord! It only could have gotten better if he was in like a hentai speedster car. Ahigo face. Can you describe the car? Yeah, it was a 2007 Subaru with a spoiler and a giant girl coming on it.
At the plate, soup uwu.
All right, next article.
As a side note to Subaru, My buddy Neil has tried to get that for his WRX, but someone else has it.
That son of a bitch. Moving on.
Um, Facebook news. Face. Facebook had a Meta VR concert for the Foo Fighters, and it did not go well.
Now, this was a Super Bowl concert during it was during the Super Bowl, right? It was for their halftime show.
It was following the Super Bowl.
Okay. First of all, I've been sitting down for 3 hours. I don't want to sit down anymore after the Super Bowl. I've either eaten too much and I want to lay down and sleep, or I've been sitting for too many hours and I want to not have my legs.
You want to get up and move around.
Yeah. So like a VR concert, probably not what I want to sit down and do.
Also, most people who are at Super Bowl parties, like they're already like, there's no way to get, unless everyone has a gaming laptop that can support VR and a VR headset. There's not really a way for you
to have like 4 or 5 people there at the same time, which is really the biggest drawback of VR is you can't have multiple people in the same.
You can't have multiple people in the same place.
Mm-hmm. All right, next.
Texas is Meta for collecting facial recognition data.
See, this is hilarious. Texas coming in with the clutch. Fuck you, Facebook.
Yes. I don't even think Texas is too big on privacy. They're just full on fuck you, Facebook.
Yeah, it's I want to say it's all Ted Cruz, but it's a little bit of every single Republican in Texas. And
yeah, they're all pissed at Facebook.
That's basically me just going, that's fine, that's okay, have fun, enjoy it, screw them.
Pretty much.
So what's definitely funny about this is that Facebook has been secretly gathering facial recognition data via phones and things for a while now, and
for forever.
And this information has finally reached Texas lawmakers who went, wait a minute, that's not in your TOS. It doesn't say you're allowed to go and take my image.
And they got that new law that says that they can sue anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably going to get struck down, but
how? This is not Section 230.
It's not Section 230, but it's you're interfering with a business across state lines. That's Federal Supremacy Clause.
I'm pretty sure that the business across state lines is gathering illegal information. We've literally stopped bank accounts for less.
Federal Supremacy Clause.
Is this why Jeffrey Epstein never got any of his bank accounts shut off, but the guy from MyPillow did?
Let's not get canceled here. Epstein didn't kill himself.
Moving on.
Wait, we could argue real fast.
No, he didn't. And the fact that Miss
we could argue he got IRL canceled. He didn't get his bank account shut down.
Oh.
They killed that motherfucker. They did something more than shut his bank accounts down.
All right, moving on.
All right. So this one's been brewing for a little bit, and it might be resolved. So Newegg, where you buy all your computer parts from.
Where you buy all of your computer parts from?
Well, your options for computer parts are Newegg, Micro Center, or Amazon.
Hello, Amazon.
Newegg used to be the spot. However, their quality has gone down. Their quality has gone down since they were bought by a Chinese company. They've had a couple of controversies where they were shipping bad PSUs to people. They've been rejecting. People have been ordering stuff from Newegg. They don't need it anymore. They try to return it, and Newegg says no. You open, even though they never opened it. Newegg says no. You opened this. We're rejecting your return. We're taking your money.
That is ridiculous.
They did that to the person they shouldn't have fucked with, which is Gamers Nexus.
Whoops.
Who made a video about it? So Gamers Nexus orders something for a project, but they find something in their warehouse. They don't need it anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even open the shipping box it came in. They just slapped a new label right next to the old label, shipped it back off to Newegg.
Right.
The return got rejected because it said, "Oh, you opened this, you bent pins on the motherboard."
Was
And
never opened.
It was never opened. You can see the bent pins here. It gets better. They return because Gamers Nexus owns it. They refuse to return the money. They send it back to Gamers Nexus. Gamers Nexus opens it, finds the still with their label on it, right?
Mhm.
They open it. They open everything. They find the bent pins, right?
Mhm.
They find a sticker on the motherboard where the motherboard had been RMA. It was a Gigabyte motherboard. It had been RMA'd back to Gigabyte, and Gigabyte said it was going to cost $100 to fix, and Newegg said no. And then they put it back in stock as open box stock and sold it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Newegg since this has said, "Oh, we'll do better," and they've changed their policy that if you return anything to Newegg, they don't take it. But that doesn't solve the issue. Their RMA process has to be better. You don't have to. If your RMA process is better, you don't have to accept all returns regardless of, because that's just asking for you to get scammed.
Yeah, that is just screaming.
That's only a temporary issue. They can then go back and say, "Oh, we're returning to the old policy because we're getting scammed." No, you need to improve your RMA process so you don't get scammed, but customers get legit, don't get screwed over. While this is going on with Gamers Nexus, UFD Tech comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we had a marketing deal with Newegg. They didn't pay their side of the deal, and they tried to and when we started covering the Newegg shit, they all of a sudden decided to try to pay us extra to bribe us to not talk about them."
Hey, Newegg, pay your bills.
So
my old response is just pay your bills.
Most tech YouTubers have put a 6-month moratorium on advertising Newegg or buying things from Newegg.
Give them
until they fix their shit.
Yeah, give them a couple months to fix their things and then roll out those fixes. There's nothing more annoying to me than when someone says something has been rolled out and is there, and then no one actually does it. I've explained this to my boss more than a few times. He goes, "We have this process in place." And I go, "No one does it.
No one does it.
No one does. I don't care what the hell you tell me as to what is and is not about this wonderful process you have in place. No one is actually doing it. And if no one's doing it, so it's not in place. You have it. No one's doing it. It is not in place.
One of the most annoying goddamn things as a tech writer was we would go through it. We would write these process. I would have to. Something would come up. I'd have to write a process. We'd make sure the process was solid, and they never took the time. Okay, when are we going to train on this? Oh, they'll have to read it in their free time. No one's going to read it in their free time, you dipshit. We have to have training for this. Well, we don't have enough staff to do the training, which is what caused we didn't need the new process because what we needed was people.
Yep.
And that's why I fucked off and decided to go to law school.
Yeah, this is why I'm like one step out the door. One of my managers actually texted me because I haven't been to work for like 2 weeks, and they're just like, "You good?" I'm like, "No, f you guys." No, f you guys. It also didn't help that he texted me as the fire department was kicking me out of my apartment earlier today.
Oh yeah, I heard you had a fire issue. Not you, but someone in your building.
I'm not sure if it was even someone in my building. It was I thought it was my building, but it's the building next to mine. But the buildings are literally on top of each other. I live on a main road, and I think it might have been something to do with the new business that's happening down on the first floor in that building. Because they went into the basement and the first floor. I'm like, I'm guessing there's a fire somewhere in the floorboard somewhere over there.
By the way, did you move or are you still in the same place?
I'm in the same place, but I'm looking to move the next month.
Okay.
Next month or two.
I was just wondering because there's no flags. So.
No, I have not moved yet. I'm still looking for a place. You'll have to go and
Ah.
excuse me. And I'm going to have to move very soon. So, tis life. Tis
It's
life.
live.
Uh,
All right.
I've been looking at places, and the first thing I've learned is there are a lot of scams when you're
Yes.
trying to find a place. I'm like, I just you have to use our credit report. Here is my credit report, but you have to use ours. Here is my credit report. Why don't you click the link? Do you want my credit report? Because I can click the link and then I'll use your information and fuck you. All right, next.
Moving into video game news. Soul Hacker 2 announced for PC and consoles.
This was a shock. This was a shock.
Of course, the video is age restricted.
It is a Atlas game.
Well, yes, because it's Atlas.
And it is not a mainline Persona game. This is Soul Hackers. Soul Hackers was a game, I want to say late 90s, maybe. It's a dungeon crawler game where you are in the Soul Hackers one, you were a dude who would go through the VR world, and you had yourself a computer that would boot up daemons that would help you hack things. And then one day, your girlfriend gets
That's
infected
that's some Unix terminology that could get abused. If you know anything about religion in Unix.
And then one day, while they're in the VR world, his girlfriend gets hit with some weird thing, and she ends up turning into a demon. A demon named Nessa, something like that. Anyway, the point is this: you go around hacking areas and dealing with the fact that the government has been, government and large corporations have been summoning demons to help them quell insurrection and making people buy things they don't need and all this other kind of stuff. Forcing culture a certain way by forcing the tech world to move in a certain way. It's really weird how these things sound so similar.
Yeah. It's really fun when you watch Cyberpunk. It's just like, that's happening right now.
It's like,
wait a minute, this is a bad thing.
Like, oh, I remember this. I'm there watching the news going, oh man, I remember when I saw this on Call of Duty Wars. That wasn't good.
Well, it's not even Cyberpunk. It's the other day I was playing the triple OG Ghost Recon about war in Ukraine.
That's why I laughed. Oh, the Baltic Sea comes for us all.
It's like they've been building this since the Cold War, haven't they?
Anyway. So Soul Hackers 2 is coming out, and this is an Atlas game. It is based on the Shin Megami Tensei series, which means there are demons and things. But in the original game, you would summon your demons, and they would fight alongside you. And this one looks like you have individual characters, and each one has like a demon in their little computer wristband thing they wear, and they use their powers in that wristband to go and use moves. That's overall cool. I'm excited to see how they handle this, because Soul Hackers is a really old game. So a Soul Hackers 2 coming out this late is like, whoa, where'd this come from?
Yeah. It's like, what? How much are they going to... It makes me wonder, are they going to kind of do like a weird reboot, or are they going to...
No reboot. No reboot. Direct sequel.
That actually makes me happy.
And it'll either be a direct sequel, or it'll be like Xenoblade, where it's kind of a sequel, but not really. It has the same terminology and same stuff, but not the same.
Okay. Well, if it's 2, then it should be a sequel. It should be in the same universe.
Well,
but
Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 are not the same universe.
Yeah.
They're really different games, and outside of having like similar
terminology
and terminology, it's not the same stuff.
Yeah, it's not like you expect different universes though with like with Final Fantasy, where like 6 is a different universe from 7.
Yeah.
Right. They carry stuff over, and sometimes that stuff carried over is weird.
And that's just JRPG standard at this point.
Okay.
So I would assume the same kind of thing. Next,
we get into all the Steam Deck news we missed. Someone came up with a case that is Kevlar for the Steam Deck.
See, if we could get ourselves a Steam Deck and a Kevlar case, we could go to the range. And
You want to? Do we want to reach out to Valve and whoever this company is? And
test.
I don't know. HK won't do it. Won't do it. Maybe
Walther. We should ask Walther.
well, Walther isn't even sponsoring Crowder anymore.
Yes, actually, they are back
Oh,
sponsoring
they're
Crowder.
back. Okay.
Yeah. As of like last week.
Okay, that's cool. Who? Maybe the AK guy. He makes guns by himself.
Hey, Gun Jesus, we have a new project.
Oh, technically, Gun Jesus makes guns, not by himself though. Technically, Forgotten Weapons does make a rifle in cooperation with InRange TV and Ronell's and someone else. I forget whoever actually makes the lower.
Anyway, so immediately Steam Deck has come out, so everyone's kind of excited, everyone's kind of playing with it, and Valve's overall response was do whatever the fuck you want, have fun,
pretty much, which is kind of a very Valve thing to do.
Yeah,
just give money, just pay your dues to the Gabin, and he'll let you do whatever you want.
Which it's kind of nice that if I have this thing, I can do whatever the hell I want with it, as opposed to my phone. Whereas if I was on like a normal contract, they'd be like, you can't fix it yourself. Also, you're buying the phone. If you lease me the phone and you pay for it, that's fine. But I want to buy the phone. I want to be able to do whatever the hell I want with it.
What's weird AF is Valve has pretty much like they both created the walled garden that everyone abuses, but they're also the most open company.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird. Like, oh yeah, we want you on Steam. We want you to buy Steam. But here's all this stuff you can do to games within Steam. Here's these products that are wide open and you can do whatever you want. Here's this way to bring stuff that from outside Steam into Steam. Here are these things that are let us link Steam to other things like GOG.
Speaking of GOG, GOG will not support.
GOG officially is not supporting the Steam Deck officially. But GOG is also an open architecture and even more open than Steam.
So,
which is why GOG and Steam play so nice.
Yep. What I know there was another Steam Deck article.
There is. They released this is the most surprising thing. They released the CAD files for the Steam Deck, so you can create a new case for it, and
which is funny because if you put stickers on your PS4, they'll like say the warranty was voided.
Yeah,
but the Valve's like, here's the CAD files. If you want to like make your own case, go nuts.
Yeah.
I can't wait until we get the Steam Deck's silicone boob pad version. Just boo. Like what are you doing? Playing my Steam Deck with a handful of boobs. The way God meant this to play.
Oh Lord.
What's next?
More video game news.
A lot of video game news.
Oh, more Steam Deck news. Epic Games won't support Fortnite on the Steam Deck.
I wasn't gonna play Fortnite anyway.
I know.
It's like, we won't support this. Go fuck yourself.
That said, you could put Windows on your Steam Deck and run Fortnite anyway.
We won't support it. I don't need you to support it.
I don't give a shit. It's happening. I bet you Valve will support Windows on the Steam Deck, even though they want you to use their OS.
Probably.
Because Valve supports everything.
Here, they'll be like, listen. We want you to use the Steam OS, but here's how you put on a virtual Windows machine on your.
Valve already supports Mac on ARM. They've supported Mac on Intel forever, and they support. They're one of the biggest contributors to the Linux kernel outside of server companies.
Yep. All right, next.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was announced.
You know what I love about Xenoblade Chronicles 3? The main character looks like Reen from the second Trails of Steel game. Oh, excuse me. He looks like the samurai guy from Shin Megami Tensei 4 with the long hair, but he has the outfit from Reen when his second year when he was in the war. This red coat thing with lots of buckles for no reason. And you're just like,
Because he just straps and buckles for no goddamn reason.
yeah. He's now I don't. There's not a lot of information on this thing. A lot of the weaponry is the same from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I didn't see any blade waifus though.
That's disappointing.
And that is what I wanted.
You wanted your gotcha goodness without having to go to the Chinese.
I reinstalled Genshin Impact on my PS4 earlier today because I ran out of gotcha game.
For shame.
And my very first thought was, I probably have all these like free wishes to use. I opened up, it's like, you have nothing. I go, man, China's a fucking scumbag.
You think?
Look, other games, if I turn it off for like a couple months, I come back, I have all these like free tickets and things to use. Genshin Impact, you get nothing. Nothing.
They want their Western users to become addicted so they can push the communism.
Which is why I immediately uninstalled it. I'm like, okay, done. I'm like, oh great, this. I'm like, I like this game. I like the story of this game, but you give me nothing.
I can't say anything. I haven't played the game.
Yeah,
the porn's good though.
I haven't watched the porn. All right. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This was part of the Nintendo Direct, which is great. So you will not need to go and play Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or 2 to understand the game, because again, the game world,
separate universe,
slightly separate universe, same terminology and things. Again, this is the ongoing JRPG strategy.
Wait a minute. It says it's a mid-sequel between Chronicles and Chronicles 2 and will explore a new world that will connect the futures of both games.
That's a bold-faced lie, because Chronicles and Chronicles 2 had nothing to do with each other in any way, shape, or form, unless something happened between 1 and 2 that we're not aware of.
I think 3 is the thing that happened between 1 and 2.
Because in 1...
But it's a separate universe, and 1 is a separate universe, and 2 is a separate universe.
In 1, you literally see all the different merging universes. You see the unrealized realities. I'm using like extreme physics terms now. Unrealized realities, whereas you know how there's multiple versions of yourself depending upon
string theory.
All your different yes. There are multiple, and Xenoblade 1 ended with the idea of unrealized realities, in which you can exist in all these places simultaneously, and you can recreate the world as necessary, which is an ongoing process in Xenoblade 1. In Xenoblade 2, it's one of the ideas that you failed, and this new reality was realized. And you went through it trying to, again, stop the unrealized reality. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I expect the same thing, but if it's like a midpoint, what does that mean?
Shinji didn't get into the robot. That's what it means.
It means apparently I didn't kill God good enough.
All these CRPGs where you have to kill God.
The most annoying part about killing God was you had to do it multiple times every time. You're like, just die already. I've kicked your ass 3 times already, old man.
Have you confessed all the times you've killed God to your priest?
I'm not doing that for Lent. I know Lent is coming up. I am not giving up killing God. It's not happening. I didn't
ask you to give it up. I asked you to confess it.
I'm not confessing to killing God. God knows.
Confess your sins, you sinner.
It's not our God. Probably. Never mind the holy motif and the angel thing. Old and New Testament versions. next on the docket because we have 20 minutes. We got to roll.
Well, we are burning through these pretty quickly, so.
Yeah, but it's still hard. Capcom
Capcom announces Street Fighter 6, but even more exciting is they announced a return to rollback netcode.
This is an older version of what they use for their online fighting series, right?
But it is, but it's the version that works. Everything else, all the other so what rollback netcode is when there's a communication issue, it keeps playing and there's predictive, but if something messes up, it'll roll back to a previous state.
You know,
so everything matches. And it's a continual check. Okay, this is the state. This is the state. This is the state. So sometimes you'll get weird. Rollback netcode doesn't look as smooth, but it plays better. It's actually true, and you don't get weird ass shit in online play,
which is really all that we want, especially for fighters.
With fighters, you don't want weird ass shit in online play. You want it to be as close. You want it to be, even if you get random, even if the graphics look glitchy and the moves look glitchy, you want it to be accurate as much as you can to real reaction time.
Yep. Exactly.
They've gone for a different system that's more for smoothness and everything looks great. But then it's like, wait, why do I have this damage? I wasn't hit.
Yeah, it's not as accurate, which is an ongoing issue. So I'm happy about that. Another controversy from this was the fact that their logo for 6 is apparently just a SF logo from the Adobe stock. That is literally the Adobe stock image for SF logo with a 6 added on.
Yes.
So this was something that was brought up to me in my graphic design communities. Everyone's like, "Can you have you guys seen this new logo?" And they go, "Don't you think it's kind of smart that they're like this?" And I'm like, "That's an Adobe stock image." No, it's not. Bloop bloop. It's literally $3 online. You can buy the rights for $3. Moving
on. Lost Ark is censored here in the West.
Which is funny because Lost Ark is one of the free games next month for PlayStation Plus members for March. That, Sonic Team Racing, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Wait, is it Lost Ark or is it a different Ark game?
I believe it was Lost Ark. I'm going to double check myself now.
I'm also checking.
I'm looking right now.
No, it's Ark Survival Evolved.
Ark Survival Evolved. Excuse me, I'm dead wrong.
That way, I got you.
It's all right. It's been a long week of people not understanding why I'm pissed off at work. Why are you pissed off? Everyone else keeps getting promoted. Yeah, but why are you angry? I'm up next for promotion. Literally.
Anyways.
We feel you're not quite ready. That's great. You're gonna feel when I just leave one day. Just bye.
Speaking of Amazon, so Amazon has said, while the starting outfits have changed, the revealing models still exist as drops.
Yeah, except they made the white girls black for some reason. I do like the fact that they didn't try.
You mean the Asian girl?
Whatever. The point is this.
The fair-skinned but clearly Asian.
The point is this, and I'll say it out loud. Brown Asian girls need to have blonde hair and wear short skirts. That has always been the rule when it comes to Ganguro girls. All right? That has been the rule. And the fact that you refuse to follow the rules is why I will not play your shitty game. I don't mind the Asian girl being brown, but she must have white circles over her eyes and white lipstick and blonde hair.
Is Gangaro even a thing still?
No, it's not. But by God, I want to keep the history alive. I was very angry that I missed Ganguro before I could ever get to Japan, because by the time I got there, it was gone. I went, oh. It was like a mid-90s thing, and I was too young. But I wasn't too young to look on the internet.
It still pops up on the internet.
It's still a pornographic material on dojins. And people are all like, why is it always gun girls on these dojins? I go, I don't know. Why is it always dinosaurs? I go, point.
What? Never mind.
Movies about dinosaurs.
Point. Speaking of the East, a Tekken Pro player was fired for saying that men under 170 centimeters don't have human rights.
And she also said that women over 30 have rotten wombs, and I let me pull up the list here. She said black people were dumb.
She was just asking to get canceled then.
Listen, she's from Japan. They don't give a fuck.
Oh, Lord.
Like, Japanese
Lord.
girls have a much different sensibilities than anyone else. And the only reason why she was even canceled is because a bunch of Japanese manlets got angry and combined to become one singular normal-sized person to yell at sponsors. I'm gonna clip this for Rumble later. Just a heads up.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
It's 5'6".
Well, you know it.
That's barely under the average height of 5'7".
For males, yeah.
5'7" is fucking tiny.
But here's
but
my
not
issue,
it. But not in Japan.
whatever. The point is this: she has standards. Big whoop. I don't really care that much. I'm sure she doesn't like fat guys either.
Probably not.
I don't whatever. It doesn't affect me. Why the hell do I care? Some random person who doesn't matter in my life says that she doesn't like short guys. Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
Also, women over 30 have rotten wombs. I thought that I was like, whoa, that is much worse than this.
That's even worse. Like, they just talk about the male thing. They don't talk about all the other things.
Oh, there's like a list. It's a long list of things.
Oh.
Some of them I can't even say out loud.
Oh, God. Do any of them have the 3-letter F word in it?
A few of them have the gamer word in it.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. But do they have both gamer words?
I believe it also says that feminism is a mistake.
Well, feminism is a mistake.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
We could say that without getting canceled, right?
Who cares?
Okay. Anyways,
we have 12 minutes. Let's roll.
Dragon Age 4's executive producer has left BioWare again.
And now, this doesn't mean the same guy left twice. This
It
is
just
means the same person in the same position said, "No, this is terrible. I'm leaving."
they also lost their senior creative director, Matt Goldman. So this was
that might not be bad. That might not be bad.
That might be bad. So this was Christian Daly who left. So I guess there is no rush for me to finish Dragon Age Inquisition.
I still need to finish Dragon Age Inquisition. I finished all of the DLC, and I'm just like, I have to get through the last area. But I also don't really want to finish, because then I know I have to play it on Nightmare mode, and I just got... So, I find playing Two-Handed Warrior in Dragon Age Inquisition to be the best way to play. It's me personally. What's your personal go-to?
It's been a while, and I started replaying Origins on PC. PC, so everything could link back and build a profile that I want for Inquisition.
You know, there's a website for that, right?
The website breaks with my Xbox 360, my Xbox One profile.
Okay.
and it didn't go correctly with what I had done in. It didn't go correctly with what I had done with Origins and 2 on 360, and I got frustrated, and it's like, well, I can actually do the original how you're supposed to play Origins on the PC because I can do that now.
There you are.
I figured out all the ways so it doesn't crash anymore.
That's good at least. I simply played. I played through once, and I have a few versions that saved onto the website, and I have different ones that I use. So I just load different world saves and combination of world saves depending on what I wanted. That's the way I play. But Dragon Age Inquisition. So the first one I played through as a rogue. The second one I found being a mage was the best way to run through.
The mage is the best. Mage is canon in
For
my
two?
opinion, for 2.
Hmm.
However, you're like, I like female Hawk because she's sassy as fuck, but her Hawk's brother is a dipshit.
Oh wait,
And,
excuse me. Number
and
one,
Bethany,
number one, I was a mage. Number two, I was a rogue because Bethany was just a better choice, and because the brother annoyed the shit out of me. I'm like, I can't deal with you. I can't.
but
I cannot.
Bethany kind of becomes bitter though.
Well,
No matter which way you go, unless you let her die.
I let her stay alive because it was.
But
I'd rather.
Did she get what happens to her? Does she become
Grey Warden.
okay? She's bitter either way because either
Yeah.
she's the brother though, he's kind like, if the brother becomes a Grey Warden, he mellows out a little bit. Especially if you play the DLC, like, and if he's a Grey Warden, you don't see him that often. But if you play the DLC, he's still an asshole, but he's a mellow asshole. And he kind of like, he's seen the world now because he's a fucking Grey Warden.
Yeah. No,
He can be a crotch. He can be a crotchety asshole now.
But and so Dragon Age Inquisition, I find being the two-handed warrior works best because of several reasons. The first one being, and this is the most important part, anyone else who plays secondary melee sucks.
Yes.
So you need to have like a bow person, a magic user, and then a main tank, and then you can sub-tank things. But if you try to main tank and having a sub-tank always screws it up.
Yes.
So you're kind of forced.
You got to
playing.
be DPS.
You got to be melee DPS to kind of make it work. And unfortunately, the rogue is very unsustainable in Inquisition. It hits like a fucking truck. But
I tried playing rogue and it doesn't go well.
You can hit like a fucking truck. You can't take a hit at all.
No. You just yeah.
Two-handed.
That's why I always play two-handed melee in Inquisition.
That's my usual go-to as well. So
which is kind of sucks because I play Archer Rogue or when I'm not playing Mage or two-handed melee and everything else.
Yep. All right, moving on.
Good BioWare news, although this isn't technically BioWare. Sam Maggs quit the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
But now they work at WotC.
She quit Knights of the Old Republic remake, which means it might actually be be true to the original Knights of the Old Republic.
I'm fine with that as long as they don't. My number one concern for Knights of the Old Republic is they're gonna change the combat thing to being like action RPG, and I will just be annoyed.
I'm okay with action RPG.
I am not okay with action RPG for Knights of the Old Republic. I already have an action RPG Jedi game. It's called Jedi Fallen Order, and
Jedi Fallen Order is pretty fantastic. But
while I like the game, I have one character to use, and I can't swap between three different characters and like just grenade spam when I need to. Which
if you can switch between characters, if it's more action RPG-esque, but you can switch between characters and you can still be somewhat tactical, that would be great.
I don't think that'll work for it. That's too many moving parts.
Point.
Because they tried that with Final Fantasy 15, and even with me just having 2 buttons to press, it was too much.
Okay. That said, a lot of new I've recommended Knights of the Old Republic to people who haven't played it before, and they find the combat clunky, even though I find it like a warm blanket because it's D&D 3.5.
That's how I feel about it. I'm like, this is D&D 3.5 on the computer.
Pretty
This
much.
is great. This is great. Like, I don't have to roll; it auto rolls for me, and
Yeah,
does
and
all the stat changes.
Unfortunately, you can't. Unfortunately, you can't bullshit things with the DM.
Bullshit. I have definitely gotten around a few things using a charisma check.
No, I mean, no. That's a 9, not a 6. I pass.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
No. All right, next.
The DeLorean's back.
Woo!
Maybe the DeLorean has been back a few times and never goes anywhere, but this time it's electric.
So you're telling me that we will have a new Back to the Future 4?
No.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure why that's there. 10 best 80 movies. What are you doing? IGN. So the DeLorean was an iconic car in the 80s.
It was iconic, but it was a failure.
It was an absolute failure
because the namesake was a crack addict.
It also wasn't.
He also to try to say he tried building the car in Northern Ireland, which at the time all of the British Isles was kind of feeling the socialism. He tried to save the company and save his employees by dealing drugs. and got arrested for it.
Yes.
The story of DeLorean is wild as shit.
But what the point is this, and is the fact that DeLorean, the car itself wasn't that great to begin with, even though everyone raved about it, and they actually.
That's because it was supposed to be lighter, but to save costs, they made it out of goddamn heavy ass sheet metal. And they didn't have the end. They didn't, even though it was supposed to be mid-engine. It's mid-engine, but it has an anemic fucking engine, and it has one of the worst transmissions Renault ever made.
Yep.
Some bad lad to make the DeLorean act like a DeLorean LS swapped it, and he said, "Yeah, I have to be really careful when I drive it because I used the original transmission, and I had to put in a safety in it so I didn't pop transmissions every 5 miles."
I would have just put in a new transmission.
He should have put in a new transmission, but he wanted to use the original transmission. Instead, he just put in a part so that if he just put in a part that breaks off so that he just has to replace CNC a new part.
Which is one of the reasons why the DeLorean is the iconic 80s car. Because it looks fancy, but it's just a piece of shit.
Also, it was in the iconic 80s movie, Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like everyone knew about it, but you didn't really see them in the wild. So it was this mythical unicorn.
Exactly.
Which made it live on in history.
The only time you ever saw it was when when some celebrity was driving it, or if like some like Wall Street banker was. That was it. Those were the only two options. It was the car of the super rich.
But it was supposed to be the affordable supercar, but it never was.
It never was.
Because it was sold for not all that much money, but it was rare because the company fell out, and then it became a rare collector's item.
Yep. All right. What's next?
So
we are definitely going to be.
We're over time. We're over time.
Yep.
Disney is trying to make Epcot again
in California, right?
Yeah, in California.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So for those that don't know, Disney does this thing. Everyone. So if you've ever been to Disney World and you've been to Epcot was not supposed to be an amusement park. It was supposed to be this ideal city that Walt Disney created, because Walt Disney had this weird thing where he was simultaneously a capitalist and a socialist and a someone who believed in democracy but was a dictator, and he was like, I have this perfect idea for this community,
So
and
he
that
was
was supposed to be Epcot.
so he was a Democrat. Moving on.
And he even there were some weird things like Disney is its own corporate Disney World is its own corporate entity in Florida, so that Walt Disney could try to do this. It's called the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Yep,
It's its own government it's its own local government in Florida that they can do whatever they want. They have their own police force. They have their own fire department.
They own the air rights around their own area. All
Yes.
right. If so, fun fact. The air traffic controls in Florida, you don't have an area that's like X'd off like with military bases. It's literally just a picture of Mickey Mouse there, and you just can't have any planes fly into Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest thing ever, and I saw it like once, and I went, "This is nuts." Follow by me going, "I have to do what to be an air traffic controller? F this."
So
the hours are long. The pay is great.
So before this could become a reality, Disney died, and to try to recover the Florida project, they already had the Magic Kingdom, but to try to recover the Florida project, they turned Epcot into another park.
And it is the best part
they did
drinking.
Yes, but they kind of did it as an homage to the idea. Well, a couple years later, they said, okay, let's actually try Walt's idea, and that was Celebration Florida.
That was terrible, though.
And it was a shit show. Because everyone's just like, oh, Disney, everyone bought into Celebration Florida because they bought Walt's vision, and Disney didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well,
and eventually they divested out of Celebration. But then the villages did the idea for old people. And now Disney's going to try it again in California.
Hopefully not for old people.
And Rancho Mirage.
Here's my problem with them doing this in California is that I'm not sure if California is willing to cede any power to Disney.
They'll do anything to keep people there.
I think California
without giving out their government power.
That's the issue.
And I think Disney kind of Hollywood in general kind of owns the California government, so
more or less, yeah. Because when Musk was like, I want to have a good business here in America making American cars. California pay us more money.
He had to fuck off to Texas.
Yeah, and which was hilarious, by the way. Absolutely hilarious. Next.
Sad news is we finally move into anime news.
Jesus Christ.
Sad news. Voice actress Saki Nida unfortunately passed away.
She was very young.
Only 31.
She didn't have a lot of major roles in anime. But it's always sad to see someone so young leave. Very, very sad.
Yeah.
Another voice actress died actually. Was it a voice actress? No, it was a mangaka. A mangaka died. Can't remember her name, but she died back in January, and the family has been quietly mourning this for the entire month. There was an article, but we were already pretty stacked up.
Yeah, so we're already stacked. News on a lighter note, news has got me excited to the point that even though I hate Kotaku, I brought the Kotaku article up. Hideaki Anno is creating his own version of the Marvel Universe with Ultraman and Godzilla and Evangelion. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna just kill myself one day. and then
you're getting more Ultraman.
And then Anno will just animate me, and I'll be like,
You see, he hates himself. That's Evangelion, but he loves Godzilla and he loves Ultraman.
I just need Anno to be a little bit consistent.
Have you seen Shin Godzilla? It is fucking amazing.
Yes, but the things he made in between Shin Godzilla.
Fuck you.
I'm just making commentary.
Kiss my ass.
The thing you need to remember is this: Shinji did not marry his mom or his mom or his mom. He married his mom's best friend.
He also did not marry his mom's rival's daughter. He married his mom's best friend.
I wait. Was Asuka her mom's rival's daughter?
Yeah. If you read a lot of the other manga, Kyoko Soryu and Yui Ikari had a vicious rivalry.
Good to know. Good to know. The point is this: I was right. I was right.
That still makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
God damn it, Anno.
I've watched
like it makes sense, but it does
it makes
it doesn't make sense in universe, but outside of universe, of course it makes sense.
Perfect sense in universe too. And do you know why?
Anno wants us to stop watching the anime and fight. But the problem is in the universe she's
It makes perfect sense in universe, and you know why?
Why?
I have read every single Dojin MILF manga there is.
Oh
the
my
guy always ends up with auntie.
Oh my god!
If it's not incest, he always ends up with auntie at the end. Auntie is always the mom's best friend.
But yeah, it's called the Shin Japan Heroes Universe.
Did he just make S-Jew? Yes. I'm just next.
But you don't want more Kamen Rider? This will get you more Kamen Rider. You don't want more Ultraman? This will get you more Ultraman.
I have so many porn stars in both of those already. How many more are we going to add on?
Well, one of them might end up playing Rei Ayanami. That'll make me happy.
Slam. Great. We can show that porn clip during your Ava shitposting panel.
I already have Max trying to insert porn into my Ava panel. Anyways,
next.
Sentai acquires sci-fi series obsolete by Gen Urobuchi.
This was a shock.
A little bit.
Because everyone else is acquiring other things. This was obsolete. I go, what is this?
Yeah, I saw this. Was like, okay, it looks like a hard sci-fi. It's like, oh, Gen Urobuchi's like, okay, everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fantastic. This is gonna be fantastic. Everyone's gonna die.
Or it's gonna be terrible, like that Dragonar anime, or the whatever, half the Netflix 3D animes.
But has Gen Urobuchi made a bad anime?
I don't know. I'd have to go through.
He was on the first season of Nanaha, which is okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Fate Zero,
which is good,
fantastic. Psycho Pass,
which has its moments. It's good, but there are times where I'm just stop talking.
Well, part of Psycho Pass is it's Gen Urobuchi doing Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell gets talky.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's a production ID. It's like production IG saying, "Oh, we want to do Ghost in the Shell. That's not Ghost in the Shell. Gen Urobuchi, go."
It is.
That's why you have the spider takes and Psycho Pass. Is it's Ghost in the Shell, but Gen Urobuchi did it.
Oh,
you didn't realize that?
I forgot about the spider tanks till you mentioned them.
It's literally Ghost. It's Gen Urobuchi's take on. It's Gen Urobuchi's take on Ghost in the Shell.
Which reminds me, I still have
but the studio who does Ghost in the Shell.
I still have to go and finish the Ghost in the Shell visual novel game on my PS4.
Oh Lord!
Which I thought they were talking in the anime. Play the visual novel. I'm like, I haven't made a single choice. It's been 15 minutes.
It gets worse. It gets worse. You need to read the light novels. Oh my god.
The visual novel. Okay, visual novels. I expect a little bit of talking, but I expect to like input choices every once in a while. But I'm like, oh, I should. I'm like, what do you do? I will talk to the victim. 15 minutes later, I have said zero, nothing. Okay.
Some of the Ghost in the Shell standalone complex light novels are so bad. Like, you have characters going off on philosophical rants, almost as bad as that 200-page rant in Atlas Shrugged that John Galt gives.
That is pretty bad. But is it as bad as the 5-minute soliloquy about panties in Monogatari, the audiobook?
Oh my god! I tried. Like, I was like, I need to listen to something while I work. So I started. I was like, oh, Kizu Monogatari. It's like, no, I can't listen to this. And I haven't started re-listening to it again yet.
Because there's a five. Listen, there's that, and then there's the I'm a big boob naughty vice president near the end, and I'm like working on something, all of a sudden, what?
The only thing worse. The only thing worse than that, than that audiobook is I started listening to the SAO audiobook, which is done by Kirito's voice actor, and it's a good job of Kirito's voice actor. But it's also like it's Kirito doing everyone's voice,
Which is
and
not good.
it's hilarious. But it's like, I can't take this seriously. This takes me out of it.
Yeah.
Like, get the other voice actors, goddammit.
See, at least when I'm listening to the Dresden Files, James Marsters doesn't try doing everyone else's voice. He changes things a little bit, but it's not like it's James Marster playing James Marster as he talks as this character. It's James Marster is doing a character. It's slightly different. You can tell James Marster is slightly different.
Well, part of it, the problem is the SAO visual novels. The original visual novels are done first person, limited to Kirito.
Yeah.
So it's like, makes sense. You have Kirito, but you should have brought in the other voice actors and actresses to do all the other voices. Instead, it's just Kirito doing all the voices. It's like, okay, I'm not in the story anymore. This is clearly Kirito telling his story, and he's an unreliable narrator. Fuck him.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I love.
And his Asuna is like, it sounds exactly the way Kirito would do Asuna, but Kirito's Asuna is so goddamn bad. I'm just driving down the road. I was like, I'm just gonna drive off this bridge right now. This is so bad.
See, this is why I absolutely loved everything regarding a lot of the anime visual novels, because if you have yourself a group, it's great. If you have one guy doing it, they always screw it up, and you're just like, this is terrible, and I can't stop listening to it.
Yeah,
it's like a train wreck for my ears.
A good audiobook or visual novel has like multiple. If they're a visual novel, if it's fully voiced, they have voices for all the characters. A bad visual novel or a bad audiobook, you have you have the main character doing everyone's voices and pretending to do everyone else's voices. But you can't have one person doing an audiobook as long as it's like, this is just me telling the story. But that works best with third person limited or third person omniscient. Like,
as if they are an unreliable narrator, it can be fun. Because
even then, if it's an unreliable narrator and they're like, it still takes you out of the moment. It's like, okay, this is just a guy telling a story.
That's the entirety of my first book. By the way, I'm almost done with my first book. Well, to me, really, it's my fourth book. My first book in this series that I'm writing. Almost done. I have finally gotten to the point where I can connect the ending to the beginning.
Nice.
Which is always like, I'm like, okay, I figured out how we got from A to B. Well, from A to like D, because like D is like main character gets resolves the ending of main character becomes vampire thing fails at becoming vampire thing. I guess we're done. This has been the Geek-Posium. Shep just ran off. So I will talk to you all later. We will see.
I hit leave studio instead of stop sharing again.
You could just leave it be until we end. Anyway,
I'm sorry. You were on a roll and now you were ending because you're like, oh shit, Shep's gone.
I'm like, and okay, that's the end. Goodbye. All right. This has been the Geek-Posium.
I'm sorry, guys.
You will hear about my weird vampire wizard thing sometime later.
I ruined it for everybody.
It's okay. The book's almost done. We'll have it out on Amazon. Well, I will have it out on Amazon soon enough,
Cool.
and then I will immediately promote it on Nikki Rackett's stream for $20.
I have an idea for a story, but I need to take torts for it first.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, y'all.